Just fucking up. Just on today's episode of Why Metal Gear Solid Sucks, we're kind of going into that one. That one scene that's like, not only ruins Snake in MGS3 as a character, but then also doesn't matter, so it doesn't ruin Snake as a character. Is the scene where, like, you know, he loses his gun at the beginning because the boss kicks his ass, and then...
Not even armed.
And then, yeah, you're not even
armed. Gee, why did that happen? But why isn't he armed?
But it's like, he doesn't need
Don't worry, there's guns laying around everywhere.
He got beat up by a girl, as
guns around.
As Kamiko Thunderjug says in Oni, you're gonna get beat up by a girl. Which is, she's hot though, so I guess that's okay. Her fucking engorged cunt flaps. That has nothing to do with it, man, because what happens is, yeah, so, Snake, fucking...
And I have to say that it's like the game actually fucking really hates him. It's not like he's trying to go through, oh, well, what a fucking...
It resents...
It's just like, look how much he sucks.
It resents how the game... It resents how the players didn't accept Raiden. Because Metal Gear Solid 3 was going to be Raiden's continuing adventures until the fans were like, Raiden's a fucking faggot. He sucks. This is terrible. You suck. Kojima sucks. Kojima's a faggot. And Kojima was so angry that for no reason...
He actually put on his diapers and then pissed in his diapers.
Raiden did one cool thing, though. He beat that girl up and drug her through a pile of bugs.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He punched Emma in the face and dragged her through bugs. That was pretty cool. Because she hated bugs so much.
That he punch double kicked her.
Yes.
A 4-hit combo.
He did a double spinning roundhouse kick to her mouth. Not just sending her teeth flying across the elevator panel.
And grabbed her, put her in a chokehold, and choke slammed her across into the bugs.
Hit her so hard until she pissed her pants.
Yes, she pissed herself so much that she mega pissed herself.
Like in Ikitosen.
Of course, like, yeah, fucking in Ikitosen. Every time a girl even gets hit more than twice, she pisses herself. Or if she gets put in a headlock of some kind, she pisses herself. Just every girl. Fucking girls pissing themselves about you.
Very nearly gets mouth raped. In fact, might as well just say she gets mouth raped. In one of her first fights, she sucks so much. The fucking guys just gang up on her and pound her fucking bitch ass like the hooker she is.
The dumb fat skank hooker that she is. And then the cute eye patch girl who puts her in a chokehold until she pisses herself. The cute eye patch girl is then anally raped by another big-titted, green-haired slut, Animu slut, like a few episodes later.
She's hilarious.
She gets her asshole fingered and her fucking cunt. I'm pretty sure she comes too. So she fucking either has an orgasm from her ass, which, hey, that's more character building than
killing her, but she liked it.
Yeah, it's more character building than all of Metal Gear Solid 3.
To experience it.
Metal Gear Solid 3 has less characterization of the main character than even the scene in Ikitosen where the fucking blue-eyed or blue-haired fucking Ray ripoff with the eye patch and who puts people into chokeholds with fucking handcuffs and shit. She comes from having her asshole fingered. That's more character building.
A no-name throwaway character. I mean, she might have a name. The green-haired chick might have a name. I did not give the slightest fuck.
They all have names, apparently. In fact, it's one of those anime things where they got full names, blood types. They're fucking... this one has the AB2385 genetic marker. That's what fucking... It gives her heterochromia, so she has two different colored eyes. That's why she covers it up with an eye patch.
That's why she wears the eye patch. I was actually hoping to go into more...
I learned a lot about haplogroups.
Yeah.
Watching that show.
Haplo. That's what the H stands for in Jesus H. Christ. It's haploid. But anyways...
I was hoping to go into more about how the bosses suck in MGS3.
Oh, the bosses suck in MGS3. Well, here's one thing, is that, again... I
think we did
the characterization, the The entire existence,
Fire guy,
the
sniper
entire
guy, crossbow guy.
beginning to
There's a
end,
walk through the river guy.
the beginning to end of Metal Gear Solid 3 has no bearing on any part of the entire story. All of the Metal Gear
padding.
Solid
It's
games,
all padding. The entire game is padding.
it's 100%
Could
padding.
have been cut.
Yeah, and none of it matters, even to the extent that it's referenced in MGS4. The references don't mean anything and don't matter. They're just some
Remember it being
characters.
referenced. That's the thing is, and again,
Eva
with
shows up.
MGS,
Eva is Big Mama in fucking MGS4.
I don't remember the sorrow being brought up or the fucking. At no point was there's a guy made out of bees
But
during the 60s.
yeah,
No
exactly. Yeah, no one mentions. Yeah, in the previous games or the later games, no one's like, World War II was won by a guy made out of fucking bees. It's like, what?
That's
was familiar with The Simpsons and the thing about the dogs that shoot bees out of their mouth. I
No,
don't think so. I think
that would be
he
too clever.
accidentally-
That would be too clever and interesting. That I would
I'd
have to have.
accidentally had an enemy that shot bees out of his
I
mouth.
would have to have respect for that, and so no.
And I refuse, so I won't.
So it doesn't. It
Not doing that.
never happened. It's a complete and total fabrication. It's a myth. It's a made up story.
Yep, tail.
Yes. Anyways, speaking of made up tales, though, again, fucking.
Miles tails per hour.
But the scene, the completely pointless scene in MGS3 where Snake loses his gun, the boss takes it away. Your boss is, you're not even armed, that kind of shit. And that's in the first episode. So then, second mission,
Rides away on a horse.
yeah, the second mission is that she does it to him again, and it's like, go home, Jack. You're not even armed. He doesn't have any exfil. He can't leave. It's really stupid.
It's the middle of the jungle in the middle of Russia.
It's incoherent dialogue. The dialogue's just fucking completely pointless and meaningless and incoherent. Doesn't have anything. It's non sequitur dialogue, all of it. But so he gets his gun taken away again. So he gets up to a place, and then fucking Eva shows up, and she has a fucking she has like a custom 1911. It's just like, oh, please, bitch, my shit's custom. And he's like, it's a custom. It's got a fucking hammer it's got a ring hammer. He actually spends like 5 straight fucking minutes just spurting out about this gun and describing every detail. Like the fucking the firing pin is even filed down, so it's a quick shot. It's just like it's a gun. First of all, if you're a pro, you should be like, not bad. And that's it. That should be the extent of Snake. But instead, he's like acting like a 16-year-old from fucking K who's just fucking found it like a
most tactical fucking
bubba'd
operator.
out. Yeah, it's called the operator.
Bubba'd AF.
Yeah, it's the gun is called the operator in I think in MGS4. But it's like this operator's going to operate an operation, and it's the ultimate like
operation.
It's the ultimate airsoft nerd fucking like perspective of a fucking.
It's a 45 caliber airsoft.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what Metal Gear Solid 3. That's what Snake is in MGS3 from that one scene. But then that one scene doesn't matter. It doesn't have any bearing on any other part of the story or his personality or his character. He's really just really bland. Snake is almost devoid of personality for the most part in MJ. Things just happen the story happens to him. He doesn't have a whole hell of a lot to do with the story.
You do learn a lot more about fucking actual Snake, Solid Snake in MGS1. Like they have to bring him out of retirement. He's like doing dog sled racing in Alaska. Dog niggas. But he's like doing dog sled racing in Alaska.
Yeah, as retirement after like he has this history of I killed my dad in Zanzibar land, that goofy shit. But the thing is, that's actually it's brought in to the story. It's brought into the story. It actually is at least mentioned in some cutscenes or codec calls. And it's not great in MGS1, but it is again. It's more. There's more meat to it for him as a character and his relationship with the other characters. In fact, it was him and Otacon that had the best characterizations afterwards.
There's it's just optional tapes of like the interrogation on the submarine on the way to the mission. and showed like Snake with long blonde hair.
Yeah, before he like cuts it and dyes it.
He actually dyes his hair brown because he'll look too much. Otherwise, he'll look too much like Liquid Snake. They actually go through the thought process of it. They actually thought about that.
Which, in a way, it's like, you could say, why doesn't he just choose to look like Liquid Snake to infiltrate? But the thing is that they would probably, like Liquid Snake, you could consider it, now again, none of this is said in the story, but you can consider it that Snake will be, Liquid Snake, if they send his brother, he'll know immediately. He's like, okay, there's another guy who looks like a Liquid Snake, I know who that is. But if they, cut his hair and dye it brown, maybe he won't know, but then again, he's, pretending to be Master Miller.
To fucking get by.
So he's on the codec anyway, so he does know, so it doesn't matter. But again, it's a little, it's that kind of level of thought that usually is interesting or would be interesting, about Kojima's dumb games.
Normally give Kojima credit for.
Yes.
Therefore, I don't think he had anything to do with it.
And
in fact,
actively
putting it in the game.
Yeah, actively fought against it, just like fucking, just like George Lucas. But anyways, the
George Pucas.
No, not Jorge, but that's some better characterization. I won't even say it's good or great. I did like it, and here's one thing about those tapes, that they were completely optional. They didn't serve a ton of purpose for the story, but they filled in some backstory and some extra character dialogue. The reason why we watched it is because back then in the late 90s, there was nothing like that in a video game, really, where it was an action game that was all about action, running around, punching and shooting.
Not even the other Metal Gear Solid games do anything like that.
Yeah, but it had all this, and they could have used it, to be honest. But the thing is that it was, the voice acting was pretty good too, and if it wasn't for that,
that was a definite first.
Yes, and
all other fucking video game voice acting,
and I know
like a novelty.
I know that PC games did have some element of this, but not with this kind of presentation, not with this level of presentation, because there's a lot of thought put into the making it look real and workable and interesting, and adding that sort of videotape aesthetic and the sound effects and shit, which nowadays has, so much retro appeal. Ugh.
Very fast wave.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, that doesn't matter too much, but it was a nice, interesting bonus to just have some extra character interaction. That was also very simply done, because it was like kind of just still images and that kind of basic stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty much all just like 5 separate images with filters over them.
It didn't waste a lot of that VHS tape filter, like the tracking filter or whatever. But the thing is that MGS3 didn't have any of that, and I'm not saying it should have, but it could have used some because the resources made to use it were so simple. Instead of like wasting a bunch of time on all this mocap and shit, it's just like, here's a very simple cutscene that's just like, he's sitting here, so it's just, some stock images with some voice acting. That's it. It's almost like a radio play. And it worked really well. And
it's actually, I'm still surprised looking back on it, thinking back on it now.
Yeah.
It's surprising how well that worked. And it's also surprising, considering how well it worked, that they couldn't replicate that.
Most games most games today that try to do it are fucking terrible. Like, it's overly long cutscenes that you're just like, skip. It's not interesting writing.
That you would think would know better, like fucking Rockstar.
It's long, bloated, unedited writing. Yeah, and fucking Rockstar, that's, GTA 4, Grand Theft Auto 4, and 5 to some extent, but, like San Andreas, their cutscenes were just getting longer and longer because no one had ever made long cutscenes before. So there was no thought put into editing or like how long this shit should be, or car rides that you can't skip, so people have to have these conversations, but you're going to fail the mission, so they have to have different takes of the conversation so that you don't get bored of hearing the same thing over and over again and start losing your fucking mind. And so
you're going to end up bored no matter what.
Yes. And
despite their best efforts.
And the thing is that, it doesn't have that good tight writing to it. And it's kind of a shame, but
That is
because people could do that today.
Bosses.
People could do that right now, where you have cutscenes that are like that are just simple kind of radio plays that may have some length to them. And people do make a lot of games like that, but usually, again, it's just like, you're just gumming up all of my game with story that I don't really care about. That's not really interesting.
It's a way to tell a story in a game, or basically at all.
But if you're going to do it, there's not much consideration for the economy of storytelling or writing. It's just too long and it's fucking bland. But it can still be done, and I won't say that MGS1's, videotapes are a good example of it. I'll just say that they are at least an example of how it has been done in the past. And I think it's worth studying to some degree.
It's something we could do. We could do that.
I'm still hungry, by the way. Hungry. But anyways, so yeah, that scene with the fucking... It's not just him spurting over a handgun, but then if you hit R1, you go into first person to look directly at the girl's boobies, and then press R2 to go ga, and hold triangle to go awooga. It's
real... mommy milkers.
Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. Gets naked whore. I don't know.
Is that a line from Metal Gear Solid 3?
That's a line from Metal Gear Solid 3, is when he's looking at her
bitch
tits.
is wearing perfume, get naked whore.
Yes, this
I guess
bitch.
Metal Gear Solid 3 isn't all bad.
Yeah, I guess it's not all bad. The thing is that, not that I have anything about our brave hero protagonist staring at some tits in front of him like a fucking teenager. I don't have any problem with that, but it makes Snake look like a fucking dumb nerd. And it's just like...
He's like an incel.
He's even less qualified for this mission than fucking Raiden.
It makes him look like a beta male, clearly a game written by a beta male, in which your alpha male main character is written by an abject beta, or possibly worse, Allah forgive me for saying this, a gamma.
But he's a Sigma plus.
Yes,
radiation gamma poisoning.
He's fucking got what was it in Mega Man X with the fucking Sigma, or the Maverick virus? He has the Maverick virus.
That's right.
He's so not a Sigma. He has the Maverick virus, which is for sure bad.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's just a shitty gay pile of shit. Fucking chunk of story. It's one of the most skippable cutscenes. But then he put some titties in it, and the spurging. It's become more of a meme than anything. And I think so. We should go into, speaking of memes, the sheer idiocy. The sheer idiocy of the apologists for Metal Gear Solid 3 to claim somehow, with zero justification, there's never justification or an argument for the ladder scene. People say, oh, this is one of the most important scenes in the entire game, and then it's not, and they never fucking they never explain how it's supposed to be good, or they give an explanation that has no merit and doesn't make any sense and is just stupid.
I like how Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted Peter Molyneux being banned from Twitter.
Peter Molyneux? You mean Stefan Molyneux? Peter Molyneux is...
Oh, whatever, yeah.
Peter Molyneux is... Stefan Molyneux is the guy who invented Deus Ex. Peter Molyneux is the guy from fucking Free Domain Radio. No, it's the other way around.
The guy who fucking did Black and White.
Yeah, so fucking... Oh, yeah, fuck. Speaking of games that were overrated... Yeah, I remember trying to play Black and White. That was the game where you have a giant god pet, and you can slap it around, and it gains its personality from how you treat it. And I tried playing it, and it's like, oh, there's no actual game. It was like Spore, where it's just like...
I played it, I got up to like one of the missions that most everyone quit.
It was so boring, though. I tried playing it, and it was so boring.
Precision. You can do this thing where you use the mouse to throw stuff. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like physics objects. It'll break stuff. You can smash up huts and stuff. And then it's like, okay, now precision throw this with the mouse like 5,000 feet and land it on this one specific object. And I tried that for like a half hour and then gave up. And then I uninstalled the game.
Yeah, and it's like, what does this...
Make a game where you're like clicking on a cube or something.
Cube
Later.
Clicker. Yeah, it was called Cube
Populous. He also did Populous.
Clicker. So yes. Did he actually do did Stefan Molyneux do? I mean, Peter Molyneux.
Stefan Molyneux, Mr. Not an Argument guy.
Yeah,
did
fucking
Populous.
the Eggs Man, fucking made Populous too. Wow. I mean, he always talks about
related,
how
Peter and Stefan.
I have no idea. I don't think so.
It seemed like they might be.
I don't think so, but Stefan has talked about how he made money working, like he made a software company or some shit. But apparently it wasn't Black and White and Deus Ex and that kind of stuff. I don't think they're related because I think people would have asked him and he probably would have fucking just dismissed the whole question as being beneath him. He's like, look, I'm a philosopher. You shouldn't even be asking me if I'm related
I'm a
to
philosopher.
I'm a philosopher.
Philosophize me up some fucking chicken nuggets.
That is our statement to fucking Stefan and Peter Molyneux. Why don't you philosophize me up a fucking cappuccino? Decrackinated.
Fucking yeah. Oh, you executive producer. Huh? Why don't you produce me a
fucking latte? Decrackinated, okay? Fucky. No, it's Banksy.
Exactly,
no, it
Banksy.
is fucky. Anyways, Black and White was another game that was like mainly hype.
He was
Spore
also
2.
the inker. He was also the inker on the Bluntman Chronic comics.
Yeah, the comic book. Fucking, he's
He-
by
no, but-
inker you mean tracer.
Tracer, you go around the line.
Go around the lines. So why are we even bringing this up? I don't know, but it's a good reason why Metal Gear Solid sucks. It is true. It's absolutely true. Anyways, yeah, the whole thing, that whole scene though of Snake spurging over a fucking handgun is like, because he's not spurging over like, oh, I got a free handgun, free handgun, but it's like
a total FUD.
yes, he's a total FUD, and he's spurging about the bits and pieces of it. He's like on the verge of clip raging about somebody's fucking trigger discipline.
He's
It's
he
just
engages in clip rage.
But it's the central, it's the fucking crux
What a
of
jerk.
why his character sucks in the game, because he has no character, and the few pieces of character he has aren't real, don't matter, don't mean anything, and don't have any bearing on the story or the rest of his characterization, either in that game or in any of the other games.
It ever comes up where it will ever matter that he's going to have to beat up a girl at the end.
And
At the end,
and this
he'll
is
have
Big
to
Boss.
bring himself to beat the holy piss shit out of a girl.
Haha. But this again, this is Big Boss, and he's like acting like half a tard over here. And not even a complete whole tard, just half of one.
No wonder he got killed by his own sons.
Yeah, exactly. He got fucking punched. But
He's like fucking, what was it, the Patton Oswalt bit, where it's like, my son's probably going to end up in the Marines or something. It's like, I threw your Blade Runner gun on the roof.
fucking.
I'll go get it if you do push-up. That was a really mean thing you just said to me, son.
Yes, his own son bullying him because he's such a fucking gay nerd. That's what, yeah. And that's the thing, is that you can tell that Kojima is not a cool guy. He just, like in Japan, they see accessories.
Just look at him.
They see, yeah, well, first of all, just look at him. But they see, in Japan, their style of writing is they see fashion accessories as being a replacement for personality. So, like, having a cigarette is supposed to mean you're tough, instead of you're tough so you smoke cigarettes. That's the thing. That's the failed shorthand
like
that
clothing.
Japanese writers try to. Yeah, they're like, they actually care about the brand.
It's like the world ends with you.
Yeah, name brand sunglasses are why fucking Ocelot is such a cool person in MGS5. But it's really just horse product placement and shallow characterization. Now, again, the characterization between Snake and Ocelot in the other games, like 1 and 2 and 4, is pretty good. But, again, 3 should have been a continuation of fucking 2. And it was only because the fans turned against Raiden. But the thing is that...
Why'd they defect?
Well, they
They
did.
defected from the game. Why did they defect?
They didn't.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, first of all, why would? That's the real question. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
But you were talking about how the game has a lot of resentment for Snake in in MGS3, and that's because the fans had resentment for Raiden. So you had to make fun of Raiden and take Raiden out and turn him into a literal faggot, a literal mincing comical faggot. But then, which I'm all in favor of course. But because people preferred Snake, Kojima was like, "Oh, you don't like, you prefer Snake instead of Raiden? Well, fucking take this Snake and get Snake, beat literally the piss beaten out of him in MGS3." And as well as, like, a fucking boss beating the shit out of him repeatedly, breaking his bones, taking his guns over and over again, making him act like a fucking nerd faggot spurg.
Picard. It's like the Star Trek Picard of video games.
Yes, absolutely.
If you people don't like Star Trek Picard, just understand this is essentially what they did with Snake in MGS3.
Oh, you like this cis-het white male? Well, take this. That is what Suju Kojima thinks of your fucking precious white heroes. He's gonna fucking have them get the... Like, not even, like, Snake goes through some hard stuff, because he's a hard guy who goes through hard stuff, but Snake basically being humiliated and fucking, like, disgracing himself.
Almost comedic.
Yes, except it's meant to be disrespectful to the character. The thing is, the fans, of course, only like that, and for good reason. It's one of the only credits I'll give the faggot fans, is that they're right that Snake is cooler, that he goes through all this hard shit. But
why he's cooler in MGS1.
The thing is, yeah, that's why he's cooler in MGS1, and he's almost cooler in MGS2, but you can never play as him, and that's the game. Like, the game was unwittingly taunting you by never letting you play as Snake in the shell section, because, again, Kojima didn't want you to like Snake more than Raiden. He wanted you to like Raiden more than Snake. That's why most of the game is Raiden. But Raiden's a terrible character because Kojima is a terrible writer. And okay at fucking game development. He really adds too much extraneous bullshit to the gameplay elements, which are fun to fuck around with, but don't really have any bearing on anything. They don't mean anything and they're not important. Like, you can get in a barrel and roll in circles until you vomit. It's like, okay, neat, but what does that do to the gameplay?
Why would I want to do this?
Yeah, why do that when I can just shoot people? I'm just going to shoot
Why
people.
Would I want to do this? Well, you might want to do it once because it's funny.
Okay, and then after that...
I did it once. How long did it take you to put this into the game? It took about 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Two weeks. But yeah, again, the whole thing, it just it's endemic of the flaws of Kojima as a video game creator, and people weren't. We were aware of this by MGS3 coming out, but people weren't really aware of this. All of the rest of you stupid normie cattle nobodies never figured it out until fucking Death Stranding. That's where it was impossible to avoid. But everyone realized, there's a bunch of shit in Death Stranding that's completely pointless, that they spent months designing and developing and putting into the game just for like a 1 second goof that nobody cares about. They literally added a piss system to fucking Death Stranding as a way to fight bosses by pissing on them. There's a piss system.
You're throwing jars of piss on them. It's like Jarati.
No, but no, you literally unzip and piss. There is a menu option for urinate, and you can do it to bosses, and it will damage them. But also, yes, your grenades in the game that you use to fight bosses are made out of your own piss, and that's actually a story element, too. Because it's all about genetic supremacy.
I'm not making this up.
Your blood type determines your fucking your destiny, and that's something that it's like he has the special piss. His piss is better than your piss. His piss is better than everyone's piss. We can make grenades out of his piss.
His piss can save the world.
Yes, exactly. Kojima is so obsessed with piss.
Ultimate wish fulfillment.
Yes, it was
the game he always wanted to make.
Yes.
That was what Konami was preventing him from being able to do that in the other games.
And every character in the MGS games is a self-insert. That's why Raiden's a twink. Kojima wanted people to like Raiden because Raiden is Kojima. Because Raiden is a big mincing faggot who loves guns and is a cool badass, but he's like a twinky little fucking fruit.
He likes the imagery of guns more than he actually likes the right to own.
Yeah, the human right to defend yourself. He likes the aesthetic of guns and the cool factor, the visual cool factor. Same as smoking cigarettes. It's like, look at this guy, he's cool. He smokes cigarettes. And again, it's shallow and it's a replacement for personality. That's not exclusively Japanese, but it is extremely Japanese.
Nothing left for any of the bosses in MGS3.
It's what
personalities go.
Yeah, it's what spurgy Japanese writers do instead of like. There's good Japanese writers who understand that a characteristic has to actually be a real characteristic and not just a fashion accessory. But Kojima only understands fashion accessories as characteristics, and again, that ties all of his games, all the Metal Gear Solid games, but all of Kojima's games, period, together. That's why there's product placement in them.
That's also why they in MGS4, he probably put a lot of work into designing their stupid girl robot suits.
Yeah, he wanted them to Prime Stock. It says I have two of these, and it was he wanted them to be fashion models, and he wanted probably them to break out and become like actual idols.
As fashion models first.
He wanted them to be idols. He wanted them to become star idols in Japan. I don't even know the shit about like the whole idol culture in Japan. I just know that there's some of that in Japan, and it's really stupid and crinegades, as the kids say these days. But
at least we got Perfect Blue out of that.
Yes, I guess. Perfecto, also known as Perfecto Bururu. That's the original Authenticu Japaneseu Nemu. They actually talk like that. Why do they talk like that? Crate, you live in Japan. Why do they talk like that? What's wrong with them?
I think it's because they're retarded.
Are they drunk?
Well, they are drunk, of course. They have to be in order to fucking wagey all the fucking
drunk on the blood of Chinese peasants.
Talk like a fag, and the shit's all messed up.
All retarded.
It's all retarded.
If I were them, I'd just
whatever, But I mean, there's plenty of tarts who lead kick-ass lives. My wife's a tart. She's a pilot.
My brother's a tart. He developed the Metal Gear series.
And is obsessed with piss to the point where he actually fucking made... Yeah, Kojima in Death Stranding, the main character, Norman Reedus, is supposed to be Kojima, where Kojima's magic piss literally saves the world. That's
fulfillment.
Yeah,
that's his power fantasy.
Piss wish fulfillment. Piss fulfillment.
Piss fulfillment. That's also Quiet. Quiet is the ultimate retard.
Yeah, that's right.
She just doesn't talk. She's a perfect woman.
Yeah, she's a perfect woman. She doesn't talk.
She can't talk.
And she does. She's
not afraid.
Abilities.
She's a human woman who's not afraid of guns.
And also, she doesn't deserve the honor of clothing. That's also important.
Barefoot in the kitchen.
Yes, I never really thought Quiet was that hot. She's kind of a chinless git. She has a massive overbite or something.
She's got like the alcohol fetal syndrome face.
I mean, she's not really ugly. She has a banging body. She's kind of a butter face. I don't want to trash the model because I saw pictures of the actual model Quiet was based on, and the real life person is actually hotter than Quiet in the game.
You know me, I don't like to judge.
Yeah, I don't like to judge women. We're not about judging women here. We're very much against judging these stupid fat mommy milker whores. But anyways,
yeah, naked whore. Let's rename Quiet to whore. I need a little break.
To fat skank hooker. Anyways, all right. Another great episode as usual. Like, share, comment, subscribe, unsubscribe. Go away now, we're drunk. And Hideo Kojima's the David Cage of Japan and should have listened to shitty webcomics.